Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If you want to be like Peter and pickle your peppers, first you've got to pick a peck. Well, in order to pick a peck, you got to plant. So today I'm going to show you how I plant my peppers. Maybe you have a nice little healthy squatty little pepper like this. This is a good one. This is one of ours. This is habanada, not at all hot. All the flavor, none of the heat. Or maybe your pepper looks like this and it is so poor and tall and lanky and scraggly. It's okay. It can be tall like this. The beauty of the pepper, very similarly to the tomato, is you can plant it all the way to here if you want, because you will grow roots and shoots all along the stalk, okay? So with our tomatoes, if you know, we plant them very, very deeply. So I'm not worried if my pepper is tall and skinny, because I'm still gonna plant it deep. Even if he was short and squatty like this, I would still probably peel off all of these leaves and plant him deeply, because I want as much root structure as I can get from my peppers. First thing that you're gonna need, and you guys, if you know me and you followed along, before I plant any vegetable, I always like to put in the hole a good scoop of my Garden Tone organic fertilizer, right? But in addition to that, for peppers and tomatoes only, I also use rock phosphate. I happen to use Soil Mender. I really like this brand. It's locally available to me. And so this is what I use. It's a 030. All right, so the NPK, this is the P in the NPK, and it's all phosphate. You do not want to use like super phosphate or triple rock phosphate, or any synthetic phosphate. That's just too much and it's gonna burn your plants. Just a basic organic rock phosphate, a 030 is what you want, and you want to put this in the hole. The reason you want to plant your peppers with your rock phosphate is the phosphate will encourage roots and blooms. So that's exactly what we want on our plants. We want to encourage root growth all along the stem, so we have a good, sturdy, healthy plant. And we also want to encourage blossoms. Like you can see here, this guy, he already has a blossom, and we want more of that because it's from the blossoms we get the peppers. Okay, so today, this is a California Wonder, which we're not planting him today because there's peas in his place. But we are going to plant the jalapeno. This is one of my favorites because it's a jalapeno, but it has absolutely no heat. In fact, it tastes just like a bell pepper, but without, I don't want to say bell pepper is bitter, but there's like a bite to it, like a bitter bite, but like it's not sour, it's not hot, it's not spicy, it's just a kind of a bite. And if you eat bell peppers, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. A jalapeno is all of that taste without that bitter bite. It's just lovely. So the jalapeno plant produces a lot of jalapenos, fake jalapenos. They are really good for stuffing, sauteing, grilling, whatever you want to do if you like to eat jalapenos, but you don't eat them very often because you just don't like the heat. This is going to be your friend. So today we are going to plant a jalapeno, or not a peno, excuse me, not a peno, the fake jalapeno. We're going to plant this in the garden. He's going actually right where I'm sitting, and I'm going to show you how I plant mine, what I do to get really nice healthy root stems. Now remember, this is a little wet because it rained today. When I plant my seedlings for you guys, I put them in these 18-ounce cups, these solo cups. So I already have, look at those roots. Can you guys see that? I already have beautiful roots. Nice, healthy, look at that. Look, they're starting to circle around the bottom. So these are ready to get in the ground. But look at how nice and healthy. Can you see that? Look at how pretty those are. Oh, nice and fluffy. They're lovely. So it's gonna go in the ground. It can go in at this level and it would be fine, but I'm actually gonna take it to about right here, all right? I want all of these leaf nodes to grow roots for me so I can have a healthier plant. I'm just gonna actually pick off the leaves. Let me put this back in the cup. because it's getting me dirty. All right, we need to save the tag. You can see I am going to pick off all of these leaves. I'm actually just going to throw them in the garden because that's compost. There we go. Okay, so here, if you look at the plant, you can see I actually have 3 significant branches coming off this plant. Let me see if I can show you here. 1, 2, and 3. And that's good. I want to encourage a nice bushy plant. The bushier the plant, the more peppers I'm gonna get. So what I will, bend him out of the way, 3, I am gonna plant to the base of that, right? Anyway, all of this is going to have roots growing because it's going to be below ground. So peppers and tomatoes, 100%, you always can plant those deeper because they will grow roots, and that's something that you want to have because it's good for the plant. Okay, let's watch. All right, here we are in the garden. Okay, so 3 things you need. You need 1, a pepper plant, 2, your rock phosphate, 3, gloves or shovel if you use them, unless you want to use your hands, which is perfectly fine too. I guess actually that would be 4 things you need. 4, you need a place to put your pepper. All right, now if you remember, I have 2 feet high raised beds. So I can dig a hole all the way, let me show you, all the way down to here if I want to, which is what I'm gonna do. You could also, if you needed to, trench your pepper and plant it this way. It would eventually turn and grow up towards the light. But because I have raised beds, and it was really for this reason, I'm gonna go down. So let's go ahead. We're gonna clear off a space. Scooch. Hey, look out. All right, I don't wanna disturb really the peas. These are the sugar snap peas. They're doing really well. All right, oh, look how nice and loose the soil is. All right, we're gonna scoop it out to the side. All right. Oh, I think now I'm gonna just, I don't know why I always think something's gonna come up on here. All right. I need to practice Peter Piper picked peppers. No, Peter Piper picked pepper, no. Peter Piper picked a bunch of stuff. Ah, that is perfect. Okay, so let me show you. You can see. Okay, so you can see how deep the hole is. It's a pretty good size hole. When I plant this pepper, if you look, it is going to be exactly right below where I want that, which is great. So by the time I take it out of the cup, I backfill and I add all my amendments, it's going to be exactly where I want it to be. So I've got my hole. I am going to put the soil mender, my rock phosphate, and you can use any rock phosphate. I should try to turn it that way. I know Espoma has some. The only thing you don't want to use is triple rock phosphate. That is just too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle this around so that I get good coverage. You can see, hopefully, see there, good coverage. I want it all along kind of the walls of the hole and in the base, okay? I'm also gonna get not much, about a handful of my Espoma. I'm gonna backfill a little bit. All right, take our tag out. I'm gonna turn them over. Check this out. Take your fingers and put it on both sides and you can flip it over. If you look here, you could probably even see where it's starting to form new roots because it's gonna wanna root everywhere. So give it a little tap and we're out. All right, we're gonna loosen that up a little bit, not too much, and we're gonna start backfilling. Now, I'm gonna get about halfway in. I'm gonna tuck it in all around the edges. You're looking good, and I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit more of that soil mender. because I want to make sure that even at this part of the plant where I want new roots, I want to make sure we've got some of that rock phosphate in there. So I'm going to mix it into with my dirt, and then I'm just going to backfill, kind of tapping it in as I go. All right, dude, you are looking good. You look so good. Woohoo! All right. Whoops. That's good. Let's get all the loose dirt. Everybody looks good. We're happy. I'm happy. Okay. Okay. There we go. Bring back some of the mulch. And we're going to water it in just a second. But there you go. That's how I plant my peppers. I can't get you in there. Pushed it too hard. All right. Super easy, right? Pepper is done. One thing I definitely want to show you, remember how I said I really wanted 3 kind of strong shoots coming off of here? I really want a nice bushy plant. You can do that by cutting your pepper plant back and encouraging a bushier growth. Because this one was already tall and lanky, I just buried it deeper. I am gonna come in and I'm gonna snip this off. In fact, look there, I just broke it off. All right, that was that 4th arm, but it wasn't as large and sturdy as these 3. So hopefully this will encourage a bushier growth habit along my plant. your peppers are planted. So just remember, dig a hole, dig it deep, remove the leaves on the bottom, I would say the bottom 2/3 of the pepper, plant it deep, add your rock phosphate, backfill, water it in, and watch your plants go. And you can be like Peter Piper, and you can pick a peck. He didn't pick a peck of pickled peppers because the peppers don't get pickled until they're picked from the plant. This whole nursery rhyme doesn't even make sense. Okay, grow peppers, pick them, pickle them, eat them, it doesn't matter. And just enjoy your garden. Bye. Peter, he's like in magical land. Peter Pecker picked, no. Peter Pepper, Peter, no. Peter Pepper picked a peck, no. Peter Piper, no. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Is that how it goes? What is this? Peter Peck, no. Peter Pecker picked pickled pepper. Why did we come up with this? This is a dumb idea. This is just a dumb idea. Okay, I can do it. Peter Piper pickled. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pickles. Peter Pecker. It's not Peter's pecker. All right, I can do this. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.